In addition to committees and seniority rules, these different structures and rules we've already talked about, institutional rules can help facilitate collective action. So, for example, we can set limits on debate, which means that we can force debate to be short and relevant. Because the longer it is and the more random it is, the less likely a bill is to pass, right? People are just going to be like, I don't want to deal with this. Let's just not vote on it and move on. So, germaneness rules, which dictate relevance, can really help make things happen more quickly. Now, in the House, there are rules on the length of debate, and generally germaneness rules are implemented. However, in the Senate, these rules aren't automatic. And on most types of legislation and votes, any senator can filibuster, which means they can hold the floor even when asked to yield and just keep speaking on whatever they want to speak about for as long as they can. So, a filibuster, the idea is to help protect minority voices. Now, I don't mean minority in the way we often use it today, which is to say like racial minority or ethnic minority, religious minority, etc. What I mean is the minority party in the chamber. So, because legislation needs a simple majority, the minority can often be quite large, but still not get to speak and still not get to really do much, right? Because if 51 votes is all we need to pass laws, the other 49 are all the same party, they may not be able to get much say. So filibuster's there to protect that minority, to protect minority voices and resist tyranny of the majority. So a member of the minority, or I suppose of the majority, but why would they want to, can filibuster. That means they hold the floor indefinitely and keep talking as long as they don't sit down, leave to use the bathroom, to eat, anything like that. They can hold the floor as long as they want. And the only way to stop them is to implement cloture, which requires 60 votes. So all you need is 41 senators to agree to let you keep talking, and you can keep talking. So that again protects the minority. You can have a string set up. So you filibuster for a while, then your colleague, then the next one. So you don't have to hold the floor the whole time. Now, I've been again saying minority rights, preventing tyranny of the majority, but for what it's worth, the most famous filibuster was actually Strom Thurmond, who was filibustering the Civil Rights Act. So again, we want to separate this from notion of minority rights as we think about that term today and think about it as just this idea of a majority faction and a minority faction, like the Federalists, especially Madison, were talking about. So this helps protect that minority faction, the minority party. And filibuster, again, can be stopped with cloture, which requires 60 votes, and then debate will be limited, and the bill will eventually get to its regular simple majority vote. Now, there are a couple things that can't be filibustered. Supreme Court nominations can't be filibustered currently because the Senate changed that and implemented a rule saying they can't be filibustered. And reconciliation votes can't be filibustered. That means that votes on basically the federal budget cannot be filibustered. So if you want your measure to pass without having to deal with risking a filibuster, you should try to get it onto a reconciliation bill, because that will mean it cannot be filibustered. However, the Byrd rule is in play, named for a senator whose last name is Byrd. And this says that it really does have to be relevant to the budget. You can't just put anything on a reconciliation bill. So you do have to prove its relevance to the budget. So that is the role of the filibuster and actually maybe stopping collective action, and how certain rules like cloture and reconciliation can help us overcome that barrier and facilitate collective action.